Hi there, welcome. My name's Kerry Waring, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm a psychic medium who is passionate about serving women and helping them connect with their soul and their divine feminine. And I guess in this series of videos, they're a diary video really. I'm sharing life after loss, talking about grief, going through a very personal experience for myself, but wanting to share it with you, give you a little some of the tools, the insights, and the personal journey that comes with losing a loved one. And I guess in today's, I want to talk about the very real issue of what happens when you can't sleep, because of grief. And I know that in my grief experiences, it's usually day one is when you'll start experiencing a lack of sleep, especially if so you're in shock, your loved one has transitioned that day, and very much that night you'll find yourself in a real place of where you're really struggling to find any sleep. I know that's been true for me, and even now it's a month down the track, I guess, and it's still something that I'm struggling with off and on. I'm sleeping better, but still there are moments where, just in that space of where your mind's going 50 million miles an hour. So what do I do? And firstly, I guess what I'm going to share with you are my personal remedies. These are what work for me. And firstly, one of the things that I do, and this is an everyday thing for me, okay? This is just the life of a medium. My emotions are all over the place. And I find that the moonstone crystal is something that really works for me. And the reason why I wear it is it balances my emotions. Yes, it helps me have a sense of my divine feminine. And it's certainly, as I'm talking about it, I have a sense of it supporting my psychic abilities as well. So know that it does all of that. But the biggest attraction for me, I guess, is the fact that the moonstone really helps balance my emotions. And the fact that I wear it as a necklace means it's near my heart chakra. So I find that that really helps. And often, even if I take it off at some point, I know I just get the thoughts to come back to it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I am a bit of a fan of the Bark Flower Remedy Rescue Remedy. And when my former husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, one of the early things that I did was go to take a visit to the chemist and buy some of this, and not just for me but for my 2 kids as well. It's the kind of thing, if you've not used it before, it does provide a sense of calm, and it's just a few drops under the tongue. It's the kind of thing, it tastes okay. It's not, tastes a little bit alcoholic, I guess, or something along those lines. It's for me, it's a taste that's okay, so it's easy to do. You just hold it, a few drops under your tongue. You hold it under your tongue for just a few seconds before you swallow. And I do have a sense that that sort of brings a sense of calm. So rescue remedy generally. And I would suggest that any time that you're grieving or experiencing a lot of emotional upheaval, that is worthwhile. It's not the first time I've used it. I've used it every now and then over the years, but I do find that that does tend to help. This time I've also went to my essential oil books and went through sort of what was working with grief, and I guess what I found was this Easy Air doTERRA blend. I've been working with that, and again, it's the thing that I'm putting on my wrists every morning, you know, just a little drop on there and rubbing it in, and it's got peppermint in it. I can smell the peppermint, and I just do have a sense again of and hearing the words calming the nerves. So that for me, that's something that's really worthwhile while you're going through a heightened emotional state at any time, really. And certainly, hi Bronwyn, is certainly at any time that you're in a heightened emotional state, such as grief, you know, stress, even empaths. I feel like this would be a good oil for empaths, a good blend for empaths to use. It's called the Clear Blend. And while it may physically work on your respiratory, I get a sense of it keeping things clear energetically for you as well as they can be. And just calming the nerves so that you're not just in that fight or flight sense ongoingly for big periods of time. So they're the things that are helping me during the day. But my go-to for night when I sleep, and this is just good old lavender oil, really. I don't think you can go past it, to be honest. I find I put a few drops on a cotton wool ball, whatever you like, and I do slide it into my pillowcase. And I know that pretty much I started using that day one. Now it's sort of, I'm using it as I need it. But initially, when you're in that major initial point of being in shock and you know sleep is going to be really difficult, that this is something that does help. And I know I discovered that with when my brother passed 24 years ago. It was the thing, it did make a difference for me then, and it has been making a difference for me this time. Even just Sunday night, it was in the middle of the night, I had been asleep, woken up, awake for a couple of hours, trying to go back to sleep. And in the end, I did have to get up and get some lavender oil and a cotton wool ball and put it in my pillowcase. And generally what I do find, I'm really aware of the fact that I find that I can sense it switching the brain. It does, it switches the brain for me. So so it's my go-to pretty much. So I highly recommend that if you're needing help with sleep, keep it simple. You know, lavender oil, it's gonna help. You know, I personally use doTERRA oils because I do like them. But as you know, lavender oil is available pretty widespread. So, and by all means, if it's something that you want, I can source for you, you know, so let me know. But generally, if you're having an emotional time of it, if you're struggling to sleep, then lavender oil will do the trick. And as I said, you know, whether it's you routinely do set it up at the beginning of the night to help you right through, or if you find you're struggling sometimes like I do and you must, I know I'm not going to go back to sleep unless I do something to switch the brain, and lavender is my go-to for that. So I just really wanted to come on and share these little tips with you. I am certainly, it's been a month down the track now since we said goodbye, and I have a sense of me and the children going to be okay. You know, that weekend we spent in Melbourne for my son's birthday, and just coming together and having some fun. It really did give me a sense of, hey, you know what, we're going to be okay. And since then, I'm still a little bit on a roller coaster every day, but I feel like it's doing okay, and I do feel overall feel a lot better than where I was. So I'm going to keep continuing to share these videos over the course of the next few weeks. Again, I don't know how often they'll be, but they're certainly, you know, just coming from a place of wanting to give you some tips and help. So anyway, today's insights are brought to you by lavender oil. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for dropping by, everyone. So God bless, and take care.